Hello, everyone. So nice to see you. I want to start by thanking your president for inviting me to give this talk about being an entrepreneur. I'm so sorry that I cannot be here live and talk to all of you. Right now, as you're watching this, I'm on a plane on my way to the United States. My flight got delayed, so I was not able to attend and answer all your questions and tell you my story. But we love technology, right? COVID has taught us that we need to embrace technology and we can still get a lot accomplished because of technology. So I'm going to share with you my story on how I became an entrepreneur and why I'm able to work anywhere in the world, in Taiwan, in Singapore, in Japan, in the United States, in my country, Bolivia. Bolivia is in South America. And in South America, we speak Spanish. So I'm going to tell you my story over the next 20 or so minutes. Let's begin. Let's jump in. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with having an office job. I just want everyone to know that there are different career paths. There's different ways to get to advance your career. There are different ways to be successful. Being your own boss isn't for everybody, but if it is something that you want, I'm gonna share with you the ups and downs of being a boss. So this is my path. Um, let's start with this. I know all of you want to be a YouTuber, or many of you think, I don't have to work. I'll just become a famous YouTuber. I'll become famous on Instagram, on Facebook, and that'll be okay. But let me just share with you some statistics about that. 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. Every minute, right? So right now, this minute, there are 500 hours from other YouTubers being uploaded, and only 2% of everything get at least 1,000 views, and 0.3% of videos get 500,000 views. So if you want to become a famous YouTuber, good luck. You're gonna need it because most of you probably won't make it on YouTube. So you're gonna have to find other ways to be successful in your career. So maybe YouTube isn't enough. It's a great tool for you to use. I encourage all of you to use it to learn how to record video, learn how to edit video, just like I did here. Learn how to do all of this stuff. It's a great skill, but it probably won't be your career. Even the most famous YouTubers have other ways of making money, not just posting on YouTube. So part of that you need to realize is you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And I've made a ton of mistakes. I first came to Taiwan to be a director. I'm not a director. I couldn't speak Chinese, so I couldn't work with anybody. I then started teaching English, but then I got fired. I got fired as an English teacher because, as I said earlier, I'm not from the US, even though I speak with an American accent. I'm from a country called Bolivia. In Bolivia, we speak Spanish. Legally in Taiwan, I cannot teach English. Doesn't matter where I went to school, doesn't matter my qualifications, doesn't matter anything. I cannot teach English because my passport is in Spanish. So no job as an English teacher. So I met my business partner, Ting, and we were able to open up our own school. So I founded with him, with Ting Su, I founded with him Vine Education 12 years ago. And we've been successful. So I'm going to share with you why we've been successful. In addition, we did very well. I opened a restaurant in Taiwan. It closed, so I'm not. I failed as a restaurateur. I was a host for a radio show on ICRT, and then after 1 year, I'm not a host on ICRT anymore, right? You don't hear me on the radio. And I tried putting it on YouTube, but that was way too much work. So again, I'm a failed YouTuber. I'm a failed influencer. I don't have many fans. I don't have many followers. I don't have time to keep up with social media because you have to do it so much. So then what I did is I took all my experience of making videos, all my experience of teaching English, all my experience of technology, and I built it into a website. And this website can help people learn English on their own, right? So I took the video experience, I took the teaching experience, and I took my computer science background, my technical experience, and I put it all together to make Vine Dots, which is my latest project, my latest success. And that opened the door to many bigger projects where now I'm a partner with a biotech company. And that's the reason why I'm flying to Singapore and San Francisco to do lots of fun stuff in investing in more companies and in helping more companies be international, because that's the purpose of my language school and my education platform, is to help people be more international, not just by speaking English, because English is a tool that you're going to use in international work, but just opening your mind and being more open-minded for work. So I'm going to share with you how I was able to do that. But before all of this, I just want you to look at all the times that I failed. I didn't try once and succeeded. I actually failed many times before I succeeded. So why did I succeed? Number one rule, persistence. Persistence. Never give up, never slow down. No matter what happens, just keep going. You're going to fail. That is going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to hurt some people, or you're going to offend some people, or you're going to get angry at some people. It's not going to be easy all the time. You will make mistakes. You will fail, but don't give up. Don't slow down. Keep doing it. If you really love it, if you really have a passion for it, keep going for it. If you don't have a passion for it, that's okay. Keep trying different things until you find your passion. Just because you study accounting in university doesn't mean you're going to be an accountant, right? That there's no one path. There's no A to B to C to D. No, it's life is not linear. Life is not a straight line. Life is a series of ups and downs. So keep trying. And number two, support. You're going to need support from lots of people, and you're going to get support from lots of people. In Taiwan, I got so much support from Taiwanese people. I get so much support from my team, my staff that works in my company. They're very, very talented. And they always, anytime I fail, anytime I make a mistake, they help me up. So make sure you have a strong support around you from team members, investors, teachers, friends, lots of people around you. The more people you have with you, the easier it'll be for you. So those are the two top tips that I have for you: persistence and support. Very, very important words. So in Taiwan, in Taiwan, many people want to start their own business, right? So, but many people just try to copy. They try to think, oh, I'm going to be like Starbucks, or I'm going to be like 7-Eleven. I'm going to be like this company. I'm going to be like that. No, those companies have already found the solution to a problem. So that's what I need you to do. I need to identify a problem in the market and then give me a solution. Don't give me the same thing that other people are giving me. Give me a different problem and find a different solution for it. So let me give you an example of that. And so after you've done that, after you discovered a problem and then you've identified the solution for it, you're going to need to make some money, or you're going to need to build some money, because running a business costs money. So there's different things that you can do. Number one, pay for it yourself. Are you rich? Do you have a ton of money? Most of us don't, right? So that part is very, very difficult. So step two, go to friends and family for support. Step three, if friend after friends and family, you can go to for government support. There are lots of government agencies that are helping entrepreneurs, and you can find out all that information. Just simple Google search in Taiwan, incubators and accelerators, right? So government has their own programs to help entrepreneurs and startups, but then some private companies have their own programs, and these are called incubators and accelerators. And what they do, they're rich companies that invest in smaller companies, and they give you tools and they help you prepare. So you can look for incubators and accelerators. And the final step is angel investment. If you know some rich people, you can ask them for money. Make them a very strong pitch revolving around identifying a problem and the solution that you have for that problem, and hopefully they can give you some money. But it's very, very difficult to do. So let me tell you about my journey. My main objective was to change the education system in Taiwan because I found there are a lot of boring English lessons that students in junior high school and high school take, right? Yes, I know. You're saying, you're nodding yes right now. Anytime I meet someone who speaks English, who's been studying English for a very, very long time, it's always, hi, how are you? Fine, thank you. And you? Anytime I hear someone say, fine, thank you, and you, do you know what I do? I walk away. The reason I walk away is because it's boring. I don't want to hear someone just, be an English book, be like a robot talking to me, right? So many times, many students are test machines. You guys are amazing test machines. You're incredibly smart. You do good on your GEPT exams. You do great on your TOEIC and TOEFL exams. But when you come see me, when you talk to me face to face, eh, maybe not so good. And finally, all your education revolves around books, lots and lots of books, page after page, exercise one, exercise two, exercise three. Oh, I really, really don't like that. So I wanted to change all of this in my solution, right? These are all the problems that I saw. So I created solutions, and my company created solutions to solve all these problems. So let's talk about the first problem. The first problem was lesson plans are so boring. The lessons are so boring. So what I did is I created a plan. My plan was, what are topics that people want to talk about? What language problems do they have? And how can I trick students into learning? How can I make learning more interesting and exciting? So what I did after planning, I built lesson plans. I created fun lesson plans about the topics that students are interested in. Stuff like basketball and KTV and family and food, right? And I created these lesson plans to also focus on the language problems that some students have. Like sometimes you forget to add the S at the end of third person plurals, or maybe sometimes you don't pronounce the end of words. So I started focusing on the language problems that I hear from people in Taiwan, and I made classes more fun. And then I tested them by having lots of classes with my students. After every class, and no joke, I ask myself three questions. What did I do well? What did I do bad? What will I do next time? And by reviewing my own teaching, I made my classes better and better every single time because I knew what I did good, so I kept doing it. I knew what I did bad, so I stopped doing it. And I gave myself things to try next time. So lessons became more fun and interesting. The other problem that I saw is many people kept saying, oh, fine, thank you. And you? Fine, thank you. And you? Oh, so boring, right? So what I did is I created a plan. I made my classes to focus on maximize student talk time, which basically means I talk less, my students talk more. And I know how you guys are. Every time I ask, anyone have a question? Nobody answers, right? Yeah, I know, I know. So what I did is I made my classes the opposite. I made my classes my students had to talk. And I corrected my students less because I wanted them to speak more. I build questions to ask students so that they have to talk more. I started taking notes in class, so instead of me correcting the student while they're speaking, I took notes so I can correct them after, once they finished or once class finished. Then I tested this by which of my questions gets many answers and which of my questions gets few answers. I reviewed everything and I took all my popular questions and I took all my popular lesson plans and I started doing that, focusing on the students to speak more. That's how I solved problem number 2. Then we had problem number 3, test machines, right? Uh, um, I ended up being the speaking test, right? You can't cheat me. You can cheat on an exam. You can look at other people's papers, right? But when you're having a conversation with me, can you cheat? No, 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 no. I started doing speaking tests. I started using real world situations and I made a system. I made a plan for it so that I can compare different people. And I stopped using books. What I did is I created an app. I created a website that has all class notes, that has games and quizzes, and that my students can practice outside of class. But how did I do that? Well, the same thing I did before. It's this process of plan, build, test, review. Everyone, say with me: plan, build, test, review. And I just kept doing this again and again with everything that I did. What did I do well? Keep doing it. What did I do bad? Stop doing it. What will I do next time? Keep improving. Keep getting better. Remember how I said you'll fail? That's right, you will fail, but it's okay because the next time you will do it better. So what I want you to do is I want you to fail better, right? You're going to fail, just next time fail a little bit better and a little bit better and better and better, and eventually you will do a good job. As I said, Vine Dots is my latest creation. That's not version 1. That's version 3. I started with Vine Community in 2013. That was my first website to try and make it everything interactive and videos. It wasn't good. Then I improved it with version 2, VCL, Vine Cloud Learning, where I started using more cloud solutions for it. That was okay. But I didn't really reach success with my website, which success means all my students are using it. Success means people are paying money to take online classes with me. I didn't reach that until 2020, version 3. What did I do? Plan, build, test, review, upgrade. Plan, build, test, review. So this is what you need to do as an entrepreneur. You need to take your idea, take this problem that you're trying to solve, plan, build, test, and review. Right now, my classes, I have over 350 students worldwide, not just in Taiwan, taking classes with me. I'm training teachers in universities and colleges and working with teachers on how to improve their technical and their online teaching skills. I even started the world's first online VR English classes. So my students can take VR classes. My students can use VR glasses and we can have VR English classes. That's a lot of fun and very, very exciting. And I work training some of the top companies in the world. This did not happen week 1, month 1, year 1. It's now 12 years of me doing it and improving again and again and again. So that's what I need you to do. And I didn't do this alone. I had a lot of help. And as I said, you're not going to do this alone. You're going to get a lot of support. And that's what I have right now, is I have tremendous support. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you my business partner who really, really helped me who really really helped me, because I'm kind of like the dreamer. I kind of do wild and crazy things, and I'm thinking, hey, let's do VR English classes. And he, my business partner, is kind of holds me down so I don't fly and go into the sky and towards the sun and burn, right? He holds me down. He kind of says, well, this might be too expensive, or what if you do this, what if you do that? So he's a really, really great balance. He's a really, really good business partner. And that's something that you're going to need. You're going to need support from a lot of people. And he is my support. So I'm now going to introduce Ting Su, and he's going to tell you his version of Vine education.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ting. As Russ had mentioned, I am one of the founders, co-founders, and also the managing director at Vine Education. We are a language center that caters to corporate business people and adult learners and some kids as well. Well, I'm here really just to send one key message about business, or I assume that a lot of you one day you may think about running your own business or starting your own business, being your own boss. Great. Whether it's a small business or large, or having your own food stand, or selling drinks, or doing design and selling your art, anything like that. We fully support. Now, one area of business I want to share with you, which is, I think, the most difficult part of any business, is dealing with people. Now, what do I mean by people? People could be, for example, your suppliers, your vendors, people you buy things from. Sure. People are also your team members, your staff, other managers, or in my case, also my co-founder or business partner. And most importantly, people are your customers, the people you will sell your product or your service to, and who you need to continue to make happy in order for your business to keep making money and so you can keep running your business, right? So, dealing with people. And I can say without a doubt, I was not ready when we first started the business in how to handle people. I naturally am, in my personal life, am very shy, just like a lot of Asian stereotypes, very shy, not sociable, did not like to get a lot of attention, never raised my hand in class. I was one of those type of kids growing up, and I always wish to be in a job where I can just kind of sit and do my work and not be bothered by others. That, I can say, as an entrepreneur, is impossible. You will never have any job or task as a business owner where you cannot talk to people. Everything you do is related to people. So I give you an example. Um, when you're dealing with business and dealing with people, there are great fun parts and there's not so fun parts. So it's not fun to run a business when the people situation is not good. For example, it's not fun to fire people. It's not fun to criticize them. It's not fun to deal with conflicts. In our case, sometimes we have teachers from different cultures, and when they gather together, sometimes one teacher from one culture says something that's insensitive or not so politically correct to another teacher from another culture, and it creates this conflict in the office. And as a boss, you can't have that. So you have to step in and you have to resolve it. And that takes a lot of, I'll say, time. It takes patience. It takes a great empathetic ear, and it takes a lot of understanding. And it takes coaching and a lot of other skills I can mention later. And so I'll say, when you're running a business, the biggest headaches, the biggest problem, the biggest pressure you ever feel in business is not always about the money or actually the service. In our case, our service is just teaching. For me, the teaching part is the most fun part, is the easiest and most smooth and stable part, is dealing with people issues, whether it's my teacher or sometimes dealing with staff, who want to quit or want to leave. All those type of things are never fun, and you have to expect, as a entrepreneur, you have to deal with not fun things with relation to people. However, on the other hand, when the people situation really works, when you got the right people in place, when the team is good, when you've spent a lot of investment and time in training and coaching and mentoring and giving advice and hanging out and drinking and eating together, when all those things, kind of like you kind of mix them up in a pot and they really work, that's when your business actually becomes better. Your business, in our case, our business wasn't so stable for the first couple of years. It only became stable once we had stable teachers and stable people and stable staff. And that only happened with when we hired the right people, when we gave them the right training, right, and opportunities, and let them kind of make some decisions. And so when those things kind of all work together, then you start to see the results very, very, very easily. It's very evident. You know, the revenues and money starts coming in a little bit more, and I'll explain why that happens in a bit. But things like work process become more efficient. There's more trust with your team, with your colleagues. So then they're willing to do things or do extra things for you, go the extra mile, spend a little bit extra time, or if you need someone to kind of sub in or take over or handle something when you're away, they're willing to do that. So that only comes when you spend a lot of time building that trust with people and your team. And as a result of that, those people, your team, your teachers, your staff, whoever they may be, in our case, it's our teachers and our staff, they become your voice. They become the people who talk to the customers. They become the ones who are facing the customers and spreading your message, spreading your company's value, spreading what your goal of the company is. And then they also become, they represent or they embody your company, and everything that your company stands for, they also stand for. And when that happens, the customers understands what you mean. They understand what your company does and what they stand for and what they value. And the customer becomes loyal. They continue their service. They continue to buy goods because they're satisfied with their service or their product. In our case, it's our service. They're very satisfied and they keep coming back. They recommend others. And then you start to see the business grow. And then as it grows, you can start to see the business become stable. And that only happens when the people situation is good. Is it always good? Not always. There will always be things that are unexpected. So my final message to you guys who want to start a business is um, develop a couple skills if you really want to be good with people. One is you have to learn to communicate better. You have to be a good active listener. You should also learn to be a good coach, learn training strategies and training tools, be empathetic, be understanding, be able to see things from other people's point of view. All of those things are very important to deal with people and to start to build a good group of people around you, right? Last message to you guys, if I can say anything. People are the worst, most terrible, hardest thing to ever do in a business. But when it really works, it's the thing that makes you the most proud in your business. It's not even making all the money or do all those type of things. Those are okay, those are nice. But really, the happiest I've ever been in a business as an owner is when I've seen my people succeed, when I've seen them feel happy in their jobs and satisfied and providing for their families and doing a great service and great job for our customers. And then I'm seeing the feedback from customers. And when I get that stuff, that kind of, I guess, word and feedback back to me, that is when I've been the most happiest in my job as a business owner. So, people, I guess you got to learn to love it, even though sometimes you hate it, right? But it is unavoidable. It is very unpredictable. But it can also be the thing that makes you the most happy and the most proud in doing a business. Okay, so I'm sorry I couldn't be there live with you. I hope I gave you a small insight into what it means to be a business owner or your own entrepreneur. I wish you good luck. in the future. Hopefully, in the future, we'll meet in person and I can answer some questions. So until then, this is Ting, and I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys so much for your time and have a good night. Bye.
Exactly, exactly. Again, that was Ting Su. Thank you so much, Ting, for recording this video for the class. And that's what it means. That's what it means to be an entrepreneur. And if you find me on social media at Foreign Prince, that's my ID handle. I'll tell you that story later, how I got that name. But if you find me on social media, I always use the hashtag like a boss. And this hashtag is very important to me because it's not about being a boss, because I'm never the boss. In fact, you are my boss. Your parents are my bosses, right? I listen to my students. I listen to my students' parents. I listen to my students' bosses, right? The client is always the boss. But what I need you to do when you go to work in the future, when you get your first job, don't think of it as just a job. Think of it as you're the boss. So no matter what you do in your first job, even if you're working with McDonald's, you're working at McDonald's, you're making French fries, I want you to be the boss of those French fries. I want you to make those French fries like a boss. If your first job is cleaning the floors in an office, well, I want you to clean that floor like a boss. I want you to own it. I want you to control it. I want you to be the boss of everything that you do. You're going to go and clean your room tonight? Clean your room like a boss. You're going to study for a test tomorrow? Study for that test like a boss. If you put yourself into that mentality, no matter if you're the boss of a company or you just started or you're in the middle, you will always be in control. So everything that you do, guys, do it like a boss. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for inviting me and having me here. I hope to meet you in the future and join you live or even in person. Who knows? So I can answer all your questions and I can give all of you guys advice. My email is always open if you guys need advice. My DMs and on social media is always open. I'm always around. I always have my phone with me. I'm always connected online. I'm always ready and willing and available to help anybody that has a question. So please, if you don't ask, you'll never know. You'll hear me say that a lot. If you don't ask, you'll never know. So please ask me questions. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you so much. Bye bye.